Hey, what's going on, guys? And today we're reviewing the Eastman and Laird Leonardo. And basically, what that means, in most simple terms, is in the original comics, this is kind of common knowledge. I feel like this is one of those things that people are like, oh, did you know? But kind of ends up being like, oh yeah, everyone kind of knows this. But in the original comics from the Ninja Turtles, all their bandanas were red. I mean, they were in black and white too, so I don't know what, like, I don't know why they decided to make them all red. I guess they were on the covers. I don't know. But yeah, all their bandanas were originally red. Like, they were all Raph color. Of course, they changed them eventually, which I like the change. I personally don't like them being red, all except Raph. But, I mean, I don't think that's a unpopular opinion. But who knows? Maybe someone's like, that's actually better because I like it more. But, and you might be asking me, like, well, if you don't care about, like, the red, why would you get this figure? Well, I love Ninja Turtles. I've always had this, like, childish love for Ninja Turtles. Not childish, childlike love for Ninja Turtles, where, you know, some things, like Star Wars, I get more critical on. Not critical, but, like, there's things I don't like, and there's things that I like. Same thing with Marvel, DC, Transformers. But for Ninja Turtles, there hasn't really been anything that I've watched or seen that I've disliked. Yeah, stuff I've seen may have been bad. Like, I remember as a kid, one of the shows I watched was Next Mutation, you know, the one with the girl, but I just thought, I didn't really know what was happening. I was like a little kid when I watched it. So what I'm saying is, like, a lot of the times I didn't have, like, this critical eye on Ninja Turtles, whereas other stuff I do. Sorry about the noise. But, that all leads into why I got this figure is if I see something cool in Ninja Turtles, I want it. And Leo's my favorite Ninja Turtle. He always has been. So I saw this in stores. I was like, dang. Like, that looks pretty cool. I love like the comic style on him, especially since my friend has all four of them, and like he would show pictures and stuff, and I'm like, they look super cool. Now I may end up painting the bandana blue at some point, but I do want to, but I also don't plan on it anytime soon, just because I have more important stuff to do. Well, not important stuff to do, but I just don't have, like, the time. I'm kind of busy, which is why, you know, I've kind of slowed down on the stuff I've been making. But getting this figure, I think I'll go over the accessories first, just to show, like, because Neca likes to give you, like, some cool accessories. This figure, he comes with, like, these 3 ninja stars, which you can make him hold. Like, here's his other open hand. Oops, sorry. Here's his other open hand. You can have him, like, stick throwing star in there. Like, come on, dude. Why does it keep falling? You can have him, like, put it, like he's, like, about to throw it, or he's holding it or something. He comes with a bow and arrow, which I don't get the reference. But it is, like, a string. Like, you can press it back if you really want to. And the arrow looks pretty cool. And you can actually do the same thing with the arrow. But you could put the arrow, like, in there, and you can have him, like, drawing the bow. Which, again, I don't get the reference. But it also came with this bandana accessory. He comes with these 2 bandanas that are just kind of, that you can, like, peg in and out. Though it's kind of scary because it's softer, so I don't want to, like, break it or something. But I always liked the wind blowing. I just think that's cool. Of course, these swords are his accessories, but I want to show off this head, which is actually, dude, what? I don't know why I keep dropping everything. Which is actually what I display him with. I don't know exactly what it is. Not truthfully. I'm guessing it's an enemy. But, you know, I just have him holding it as he's looking at it. That's how he is on my shelf. And I don't know if you'd count this as an accessory, but in his box, he comes, like, with this, like, backdrop, which is what I actually, you know what, yeah, I'll just take him out. There wasn't enough room to fit him in. But he comes with this, like, backdrop, which I think would actually probably look really cool in the background of this video, now that I think about it. Like, yeah. Like, ooh, like, this figure just looks really cool. That was with Neca, majority of the time. a lot of my, like, the reasons I get them is because they look cool. They don't ever really have much, like, articulation, which, actually, I'll go over articulation right now, because I brought it up. But this figure surprised me with the articulation he has, because, like I just said, Neca, they have really cool sculpts, and their figures look really good, but they never had, like, crazy articulation. I never felt like their articulation was something that, was impressive. Sorry, I just knocked my camera. And that's probably due to their impressive sculpts, because, I mean, if you sculpt it really well, then the articulation is going to be limited, and but like a lot of NECA figures don't look like they'd be action figures, which is the problem with the articulation. But I feel like for a NECA figure, he has a really good head for NECA figure. Usually NECA figures, I feel like, of course, this is kind of like, I guess I have a small sample size because I only have a few NECA figures. But out of the ones I've gotten, I never really felt like they could move that well. But him, especially with that head, he's got really big pins in his legs, which some people hate pins. I don't prefer them, but I don't think it's like end of the world if they have them. So he can only go up about that far. He does have swivels, and his swivels, they're loose, but I think they're like the loose you'd want them to be. Of course, that can go all the way around if you want to. His elbow, though, he can get about 90, which I think, again, is probably all you really need. Of course, more is better, but hey. And his wrists, they're pretty good, but they're loose. Like this hand, if I move a little bit, like it can pop out pretty easily. He does have a waist, like a swivel technically, but I don't know how useful that'd be. He does have an ab crunch. But again, since he has like this kind of softer plastic, I mean, it's not softer plastic, but it can still bend. I don't want to warp it or anything. His legs can go out decently far. He has like the little tail, which I think is funny. Which I actually kind of like that. I wish like more Ninja Turtles had their tails. And then, oh man, this figure. Then he can bend his knees. I'm gonna push it to the limit here. Not that far. Not super impressive knees. And his legs, his feet are fine. Like they pivot and they go. Well, that's technically down. I was gonna say up and down, but that's technically down. This would be up. And well, that's the thing. These are pretty loose, so I should have taken those out. Sorry, it's a new recording setup, and I'm not used to having like this. Like I'm more limited on space, so I'm kind of knocking stuff more around. But like for a NECA figure, I feel like his articulation, I'm gonna zoom out, isn't like all bad. Well, if I zoom out, I'm gonna just take that out. And if for a NECA figure, his articulation ain't too bad. I still don't get it in super crazy poses. Oh, okay. This is something I was gonna mention. Here, let me put him down and zoom in. On that sword, I don't know if you could see it. There's some green on it. Oh, there it is. There's more on that side. Like I was looking at this side. I was like, oh, there's this tiny little smidge of green. And you turn it around. Yep. NECA figures, especially the Ninja Turtle ones. I have a few Ninja Turtles, not the rest of the series. Let me just put the sword in his hand. NECA figures, I feel like their paint isn't as good in a way. Like I feel like their paint scratches off more than other figure. Like paint rubbing off has never really been a thing that I've been worried about, because it's usually not something that happens. But with NECA figures, especially the Ninja Turtle ones, like I said, I feel like they're... Sorry, I just need more space to get the hands off. I feel like their paint rubs off pretty easily. I actually wanted to try getting bow, because when I figure it out, hold on, see See, look how loose it is. It's coming out. If I take out the sword a bit, it's gonna pop out. Never mind. I kind of wanted to try the bow and arrow, just because. Yep, there's some paint, like, rubbed off on that. I wanted to try the bow and arrow because when I found out that you could, like, low-key, like, that's kind of cool. Like, I don't know if I'll get the rest of the series because I don't really need them, but, like, I'm almost tempted to just display him with the bow. Like, he's, like, because that's not something you really ever see. And if he can hold it, I wonder if he can hold it well enough to where, I mean, I'd assume, right? I don't think that's, oh, crap, sorry. I mean, you could. I'd have to mess around with it. But I could tell that his articulation's not going to really let him. Especially since, well, if you do that, the string isn't there. I don't know. In concept, it might be cool, but I don't know. Well, actually, you could probably fit the string, like, through his hands. And then, I'm sure you could figure it out. I actually kind of want to figure it out, but not right now. Like, that seems really troublesome. Let me just take one. So I'm more or less playing around with him now. You're just kind of seeing me freaking play with a toy. Freaking adult playing with a toy. I really, honestly, when I found out that you could, like, put stuff in his fingers like that, I kind of really wanted to, like, display him, like, I don't know how to describe, like he's holding it, like he's about to, like, throw it or something. For that, I'd probably, like, switch it around. Then he'd be, like, holding it. I wonder if he could fit more than one in there. Nah, that doesn't look like it. It'd be cool, though. But, I mean, you guys see the vision, right? Like, he's just holding it. I know, this is a very, very unprofessional of you. I'm just not used to the new setup. But something I do actually want to mention is that he's kind of a heftier figure in a way. So, like, he kind of... You can kind of get him in different, more poses you wouldn't think, because his weight just allows, like you can kind of spread him out, and, like, the weight of his, like, keeps him up. Anyway, that was my very unprofessional review. If you like Ninja Turtles, I think you should get them. But if you don't really care for Ninja Turtles, then I honestly don't think you'd really care about this figure.